Banana Tree 2 from Crito and Plato's Dialogue. Crito. Very well then, don't let it distress you. I know some people who are willing to rescue you from here and get you out of the country for quite a moderate sum. And then surely you realize how cheap these informers are to buy off. We shan't need much money to settle them, and I think you've got enough of my money for yourself already. And then, even supposing that in your anxiety for my safety you feel that you oughtn't to spend my money, dear, are the foreign gentlemen staying in Athens who are quite willing to spend there. One of them, Simmias of Thebes, has actually brought the money with him for this very purpose, and Thebes and a number of others are quite ready to do the same. So, as I say, you mustn't let any fears on these grounds make you slacken your efforts to escape, and you mustn't feel any misgivings about what you said at your trial, that you wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you left this country. Wherever you go, there are plenty of places where you will find a welcome, and if you choose to go to Thessaly, I have friends there who will make much of you and give you complete protection so that no one in Thessaly can interfere with you. Besides, Socrates, I don't even feel that it is right for you to try to do what you are doing, throwing your life away when you might save it. You are doing your best to treat yourself in exactly the same way as your enemies would, or rather did, when they wanted to ruin you. What is more, it seems to me that you are letting your sons down too. You have it in your power to finish their bringing up and education, and instead of that you are proposing to go off and desert them, and so far as you are concerned they will have to take their chance. And what sort of chance are they likely to get? The sort of thing that usually happens to orphans when they lose their parents. Either one ought not to have children at all, or one ought to see their upbringing and education through to the end. It strikes me that you are taking the line of the least resistance, whereas you ought to make the choice of a good man and a brave one, considering that you profess to have made goodness your object all through your life. Really, I am ashamed, both on your account and on ours, your friends. It will look as though we had played something like a coward's part, and all through this affair of yours. First there is the way you came into court, when it was quite unnecessary. That was the first fact. Then there was the conduct of the defense. That was the second. And finally, to complete the farce, we get this situation, which makes it appear that we have let you slip out of our hands through some lack of courage and enterprise on our part because we didn't save you, and you didn't save yourself when it would have been quite possible and practicable. If we had been any use at all. Dear Socrates, if you aren't careful, besides the suffering there will be all this disgrace for you and us to bear. Come, make up your mind. Really, it's too late for that now. You ought to have it made up already. There is no alternative. The whole thing must be carried through during this coming night. If we lose any more time, it shan't be done. It will be too late. I appeal to you, Socrates, on every ground. Take my advice and please don't be unreasonable.